Welcome to this Functional Skills Level 2 Maths training video. This video contains information and guidance on Criterion 9. Order, approximate, and compare decimals. At Level 2, and by the end of this session, you should be able to recognize and understand decimals, order and compare decimals, round decimals, and approximate decimals by rounding. When working with decimal numbers, it's essential to understand the place value of each digit. Here's a breakdown to help you. The digits to the left of the decimal point represent the whole number. Each position to the left increases by a power of 10. For example, ones, or units, tens and hundreds. The digits to the right of the decimal point represent parts of a whole, or the decimal part of the number. Each position to the right decreases by a power of 10. For example, tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Let's look at this example. 276.513. 276 is to the left of the decimal point. It is the whole part of the number. 0.513 is the decimal part of the number. It is to the right of the decimal place. Here is a place value chart. Being familiar with place value will help you to understand decimals. If you need to, pause the video while you make a note of different place values. We can order and compare decimal numbers by looking at each place value from left to right. Let's look at an example. Place the following decimals in order from smallest to largest. 12.041, 2.401, 1.204, 11.4. You must remember to work from left to right when ordering decimals, or you may get confused. In this example, the whole numbers before the decimal point are different, so we can order the decimals by just looking at these. The correct order is 1.204, 2.401, 11.4, and 12.041. If you do not work from left to right, you may accidentally count the number of digits. This will not help you order decimals. For example, we can see that 11.4 has 3 digits, and 2.401 has 4 digits. However, 11.4 is larger. When we look from left to right, we can see that 11.4 has tens and ones, whereas 2.401 just has ones. Remember, you can use a place value chart to help you, or even write out the numbers below one another, with the decimal point in the same place. In this example, we can see that all the numbers have 3 ones, so we must look at the digits after the decimal point. Remember that we must move from left to right. They all have 1/10, so we move to the right to check the hundredths column. If some numbers appear to have less digits than others, you can add zeros, or placeholders, to the end of them. This will make the number of digits the same and easier to compare. 3.1 does not have any tenths, so it is the smallest. All the other decimals have 4 hundredths, so we must move on to look at the thousandths. 3.14 does not have any thousandths, so it is the second smallest. 3.141 has 1,000th, so it is the third smallest. This leaves 3.145, which has 5 thousandths, and is therefore the largest. Let's try some practice questions. Put the following decimals in order from largest to smallest. Pause the video while you work out the answer, then press play when you're ready to continue. Did you get it right? Remember, you can use a place value chart to help you. Pause the video while you check, then press play to continue. Put the following decimals in order from smallest to largest. Pause the video while you work out the answer, then press play when you're ready to continue. Did you get it right? Pause the video while you check. Put the following decimals in order from largest to smallest. Pause the video while you work out the answer, then press play when you're ready to continue. Did you get it right? Pause the video while you check. You may be asked to round decimals to 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places, or to the nearest whole number. If the word approximate is used in a question, this will often require you to round numbers before you calculate an answer. Here's a step-by-step guide to rounding decimals. Step 1. Identify the place value. Determine which place you need to round to. What is the question asking? 2. Locate the rounding digit. Find this digit in the place you are rounding to. 3. Look at the next digit. Look at the digit to the right of the rounding digit. This digit determines whether you round up or the digit stays the same. 4. Apply the rounding rule. If the digit to the right of the rounding digit is 5 or greater, round up. This means increase the rounding digit by 1. If the digit to the right of the rounding digit is less than 5, keep the rounding digit the same. Step 5. Remove the remaining digits. After rounding, drop all the digits to the right of the rounding digit. Let's look at an example. Round 45.67 to the nearest whole number. First, we need to identify the place value we're rounding to. In this case, it's the nearest whole number. Next, we need to locate the rounding digit. The rounding digit is the whole number, which is 45. Looking immediately to the right of the rounding digit, we can see that there is a 6. We know that 6 is more than 5. We need to apply the rounding rule of 5 or more to round up. 45 therefore increases to 46. Finally, we need to make sure we remove all the digits after the whole number. We need to get rid of 0.67 to get our final answer. 45.67 rounds to 46. Now it's your turn. Round 12.38 to the nearest whole number. Pause the video while you follow the rounding steps, then press play when you're ready to continue. Let's check your answer. Round 12.38 to the nearest whole number. First, we need to identify the place value we're rounding to. In this case, it's the nearest whole number. Next, we need to locate the rounding digit. The rounding digit is 12. Looking immediately to the right of the rounding digit, we can see that there is a 3. We know that 3 is lower than 4. We need to apply the rounding rule of 4 or less to keep the rounding digit the same. 12 will stay the same. Finally, we need to remove all the digits after the whole number. Therefore, 12.38 rounds to 12. Round 69.204 to 1 decimal place. Pause the video while you follow the rounding steps, then press play when you're ready to continue. Let's check your answer. First, identify the place value we're rounding to. In this case, it's the tenths, or first decimal place. Next, locate the rounding digit, which is 2. Looking immediately to the right of the rounding digit, there is a 0. We know that 0 is lower than 4. When we apply the rounding rule, 2 will stay the same. Finally, we need to remove all the digits after the 2. Therefore, 69.204 rounds to 69.2. Round 314.308 to 2 decimal places. Pause the video while you follow the rounding steps, then press play when you're ready to continue. Let's check your answer. First, identify the place value we're rounding to. In this case, it's the hundredths or second decimal place. Next, locate the rounding digit, which is 0. Looking immediately to the right of the rounding digit, there is an 8. We know that 8 is more than 5. When we apply the rounding rule, 0 will round up to 1. Finally, we need to remove all the digits after the 1. Therefore, 314.308 rounds to 314.31. This table shows us how to round this decimal number to different values. 413.72856. It uses the same rounding rules we have just covered. Pause the video while you familiarize yourself with the table, then press play to continue. Now it's your turn. Use the table to round 64.9027 to the different values. Pause the video while you work out the answers, then press play to continue. Let's check the answers. Did you get it right? We're now going to move on to approximating answers using rounding. Sometimes, you may be asked to approximate an answer rather than give an exact answer. You will need to round each number before completing the calculation. If you complete the calculation without rounding, you will not be awarded any marks. Let's look at an example. Approximate 4.1 multiplied by 5.3 by rounding each number to the nearest whole number. To successfully answer this question, we need to round both 4.1 and 5.3 to the nearest whole number before completing the calculation. Pause the video while you attempt this question, then press play to check your answer. Let's check your answer. When rounded to the nearest whole number, 4.1 rounds to 4. 5.3 rounds to 5. 4 multiplied by 5 equals 20. The answer is 20. Now it's your turn. Approximate minus 12.207 multiplied by 49.801 by rounding each decimal to the nearest whole number. You can use a calculator to help you. Pause the video while you attempt this question, then press play to continue. Let's check your answer. When rounded to the nearest whole number, minus 12.207 rounds to minus 12. 49.801 rounds up to 50. Minus 12 multiplied by 50 equals minus 600. You should now be able to recognize and understand decimals, order and compare decimals, round decimals, and approximate decimals by rounding. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.